Tyrone 3, I'll be reviewing. This movie dropped on Netflix. It's called They Clone Tyrone. This movie is starring John Boyega, Jamie Foxx, and Tanya Farrow from this upcoming Marvel movie, The Marvels. And this movie is directed by Joel Trailer. And I had no idea what this movie was about. I've never seen the trailer or anything like that. But from the name, this movie, it is about cloning. That is what you expect this movie to deliver on the story. And I thought overall this movie did bring very interesting story here. So in this movie you see Fontaine. He's a small drug dealer in this neighborhood called Glen, and he's trying to get by there by doing all this small drug dealing in his neighborhood. And in this movie we see also Jamie Foxx, he plays this character. He's like, and also Tanya Farrow, she is also working with him. And we see in this movie Fontaine, he's doing his everyday life, and then end of the day in this movie he get killed by the other drug dealer in his neighborhood. And next day we see he's waking up from the sleep and he's doing same thing again. And I thought overall the way it was done, I was like, whoa, that is very interesting. Same time I was thinking, it's this movie kind of like a Groundhog Day. He's like doing same things over and over again. That's what I was thinking. So one day Fontaine, he sees that like in his neighborhood, like the bloody guy who was running, then he get kidnapped by this car. So we see in this movie he decide to investigate in this movie, like why is this Ben is following him around. So he follows that Ben and he try to, I guess, discover the government conspiracy. And he discovered very shocking things in this movie. And where this movie ends, I was like, whoa, this was really interesting. Okay, so what do I think about this movie? Well, this movie does bring very interesting idea about cloning, conspiracy theories, and everything, like government behind it and everything. I found at some point this movie story to be quite like ridiculous. I was like, whoa, this is like going overboard, thinking all these things. So that being said, we have seen this kind of Fontaine everywhere, like we go. So I guess it was interesting idea. I guess the way this movie brings Fontaine to front of us, because we all are familiar with it, like everywhere you go, I guess, throughout the country. That is what this movie was implying. I guess I don't like, I'm not one of those people who believe this kind of conspiracy or anything like that. So I guess for me, this movie really reminded me of the movie called Get Out. Although Get Out was quite brilliant, this movie, however, it isn't very entertaining. First act feels very, like, how do I say this? It isn't like it's hard to get into that story. However, I found John Boyega, end of the day, he's a really good actor, honestly. Every time I think about John Boyega, I think about all these comments he make on Star Wars. But every time I sit down and watch any of his movie, I get really amazed, because end of the day, he's really talented actor. Because end of the day, in this movie, he did do a really good job. And at the end of this movie, I was thinking, whoa. Although I have personally never seen his interview, but I always hear, how he is always talking about Star Wars and how he was, although his character was really not, like really annoying in Star Wars, which is I do acknowledge. But you cannot deny that John Boyega is actually very talented actor. But I think because of his his mouth, he's always talking too much. I think he doesn't get all the opportunity he deserves, because he's a really good actor. This is the first time I feel like he's the center of this kind of movie. I think he shouldn't talk so much about Star Wars anymore. He just should be just focusing on his work, because this guy, he is talented, but he's not getting the opportunity he deserves because of his mouth. That's what I think personally. And like working in this Hollywood space, I feel like that is important to be just working, let your work speak. But I recently hear he said something about Kathleen Kennedy again. So, Also, I don't know if these rumors are true or false, but it does give you bad taste in your mouth. Overall, I guess I'm going on about John Boyega because I feel sad that he's not getting more opportunity because he's really good actor. Did I like Jamie Foxx in this movie? No, I did not like Jamie Foxx. He was kind of, his character was really weird. Some of the stuff I didn't understand. What was he saying? His accent was kind of weird for me. I didn't understand. Also, his acting was like he was overacting in this. Tanya Ferrer, she was okay. I liked her a lot in this. Honestly, I when I was watching her in One Division show, Tanya, she came across very stiff. But in this movie, she was actually quite charming. I liked her a lot. I can wait to see her in Miss Marvel. And that's my thought on this movie. Well, some people will think this movie is really clever. I thought it was like a little bit weird watch for me. Although I could see some people enjoying, but I don't see I don't see this movie becoming a huge hit on Netflix because many people will turn off until after 20 or 25 minutes. Unfortunately, the way this movie was done, it is interesting, but doesn't grab you right away until you go to the middle act where it did became interesting. Overall, how it ended, I was like, whoa. Overall, it was just okay. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this movie? If you enjoyed about this review, don't share my other reviews on other Netflix movie. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.